So, if you are into winter camping, this video is for you. Ah, nice one. What could be better than nice morning coffee when you are winter camping? So this will be the first part of series How to Winter Camp. And today we are going to talk about very important things which you need to consider before you even start winter camping. I'm not expert, you do it on your own risk, but I have some experience and knowledge about winter camping. Actually, winter camping is my favorite camping. The colder it is, more snow it is, then better. So let me make some coffee for me, and then we will talk about winter with you. Ah, nice one. So you want to upgrade your camping by start doing winter camping. So you are excited, you've seen many videos about camping in winter on the snow, in the tents, tarps, bivvies or hammocks. All different kind of camping in winter. It's really exciting, I know. So maybe you've been camping only in summer, maybe autumn. Maybe the lowest temperature you had is 5 degrees Celsius or something. That's already quite chilly, actually. Maybe you want to try below freezing, -1, maybe -5 or even -10 and even lower. That's always possible, of course. But you need to consider the most important thing. In winter camping, confidence is your number one thing, definitely. You need to tune your mindset to winter camping. You need to stay calm and clear-minded at any situation, because anything can happen, you know. It could be a snowstorm, temperature could drop drastically, you are not prepared or something. And winter is no joke. You can get frostbite and the situation can turn even worse. So you need to be serious and prepared about winter camping. So the next thing, it's not about walking miles. Especially when you start winter camping, you need to test your gear before you even start winter camping in the wilderness. So I'm strongly suggest you to try your gear out. Maybe just try it in your balcony or go in your backyard, maybe some local park, maybe at friend's house, maybe in a garden, you know. Just ask your friends, can you camp there for one night or something? You need to test your gear before you get out. The same it was for me. I was testing my gear in my garden, because in the first time it actually can be very scary when you are outside in the nature somewhere and you are not prepared. You don't know what to expect from your gear. Maybe you don't know your limits or something. So in that way you will know your gear and you will get your confidence. And then you gradually try to camp in lower and lower and lower temperatures. I would say it's really nice by 5 degrees Celsius. So for example, if you camp in 0 degrees, next time try -5 degrees Celsius. And so on. So like I said, it's not about hiking miles. So if you want to try in the nature, you can camp next to your car. So if something happens, car is nearby, no problem. If you want to hike, maybe try 2 kilometers, maybe 5, maybe even less. You need to gradually level up yourself to do so. So the next thing I'm suggesting is to start doing ice baths and cold showers every day. Yeah, that helps a lot because you are familiar with the cold, you are better dealing with it, you are calm. It's like a meditation. You feel cold and you are not getting stressed, you know. So that's helping a lot, believe me. It gives you that confidence. That's the way you will better know yourself. So at the moment it's 3 degrees Celsius. So all snow has melted, but still it's quite chilly. Especially at night time, it's about 0 degrees Celsius. It's quite cold. So the next thing, after you have your confidence, you tested your gear, maybe you do some ice bathing and cold showers, you already decided location, where are you going. So the next thing you need to consider is drinking hot drinks. Cheers. Oh, this is very nice. It will heat you up from the inside. So drink hot drinks all day long, as much as you can, and go toilet 100 times. But that's okay. You need to plan your hike. So actually this is very nice top field from One Wind. It has this hole for your head and you can make a poncho. Really nice, because I'm not moving right now and I'm feeling quite cold. Voila, nice one. So you need to consider if you need to bring water with you, maybe you're using filters, maybe you will melt snow. If it's that case, you will need to bring extra gas for your canister for melting snow. Also you need to consider if you're using filters, if there's any river, if it's frozen, can you get to the water or something. So you need to consider all these things. For me personally, I actually always take my water with me, so I'm not mine to carry those kilograms because I normally don't hike further than 10 kilometers. I never use the snow for making water. That of course is more logical for some mountains or something. You are not going to carry many liters of water with you because there's snow everywhere and you just bring extra gas and make your own water over there. But in my case, that's not the case. I don't actually trust snow. I think it's dirty from air pollutions or something. Okay, so the next thing you need to understand that for winter you need more gear. Your pack will increase, your weight will increase, bulkiness, because now you need extra layers of clothing, thicker mats, sleeping bags, top quilts, under quilts, thicker jackets. Everything will increase in the bulk and the weight, definitely. So be ready to get a bigger pack. It depends from one to other. I'm suggesting 90 to 100 liters, something like that. That works for me very nicely. So everything will expand a little bit. So again, make sure you have a pack big enough for this. So the next really important thing, you never let yourself to get cold. If you get cold, do something about it. Move, make a fire, make your head busy, do something. Jumping jacks, shadow boxing. If you have a cold fingers, it's a very nice technique to swing your arms very strongly around both ways. I will show you like this. And also you can shake down like this to get your warm blood into your fingers. Okay? And also about your toes, move them like this. So that's why I like barefoot shoes. Very wide toe box. And they are very flexible, as you can see. I can easily move my toes inside. It is really helpful. And also, if you don't have already, get yourself insoles with the reflective. They're making a huge difference. Just a huge. This is very nice. Also it works all the way around. If you are too hot, take some layer off. Don't let yourself to get too hot and sweaty, because later on you probably will be in a trouble. So now we talked about dealing with the cold, doing something about it, maybe get some layer on or take some layer off, or do something, jumping, walking, making fire and so on. So the next thing we need to talk about is layering system and your clothing. So I think let's start from the top to bottom. So the layering system, it's really nice for everything, even for your head. For example, I have this beanie. It's a medium thickness, but in minus 10 degrees Celsius, it could be not enough. So I have a lot of gear with me. It's winter camping. Okay, so it's really nice idea to have some thicker beanie, maybe some down hoodie or something. In my case, I have this face mask from Polar Fleece. It also could be just a hat. So you can also layer your head if it's too warm, you take it off. For sleeping, especially in the hammocks, you need something extra for your head. So for me, go-to is to use a face mask. So I actually can decide to leave this hat on or take it off and use just a face mask. And it's really nice because it has extra protection for your neck, for your ears, and for your face. And of course you can sleep like this, but in really extreme temperatures you need to cover your nose and lips. You can lose them. So, but I actually like to use these type of face masks. It has a hole for your nose to breathe, and they are not touching your mouth, because for me it's quite filthy to sleep like this when this wet, nasty fabric is touching my face. I don't like that, and it's compressing my nose. That's why I use this mask, and then if needed I cover with this mask. Okay, so it goes like this. It also covers my ears, and I can actually use my beanie. Nice one. And if needed, then I can put this thick fleece mask. So something like this. Nice one. So this is my favorite beanie. It's double-sided. It has this very nice fleece inside. But today's style is this. Okay. So we talk about head and neck and face and ears. So next is layering system. So you're gonna need a thin base layer. And it doesn't matter if it's synthetic or merino wool or something. Just get yourself a base layer. For winter, you're gonna need 2 pairs of base layer. One for hiking and camping, and other one for sleeping. Because you're gonna need dry and nice clothes for sleeping. You cannot go sleep with a sweaty base layer. And like I said, layering system, and you need to consider the second layer of your system. It can be like this. This is super thick, synthetic, fleecy, something material, okay? If temperature is about -10 degrees Celsius, I'm starting to use this one. You maybe already know, it's not only about winter camping. When you hike, you take your outer layer off, leave some base layer or base layer covered with some thin windproof jacket or something breathable. Because when you move, actually the best is when you are on the edge of the cold. So you are feeling a bit cold, but in the same time you're feeling fine because you are moving. If you're gonna hike in jacket like this for many miles, you will get very sweaty. As soon as you stop walking, you will start slowly to get cold. So after you hike, you place back again your outer layer. And one more thing about these base layers. It doesn't mean you need to put both base layers when you are sleeping in your sleeping bag. Actually, I was using this thin base layer when I was camping in -23 degrees Celsius in my tent. If your sleeping bag is rated for those temperatures, you should be fine in a thin base layer. Actually, it is better to sleep in thin base layer if you are using proper sleeping bag, because you will faster to heat up your sleeping bag and you will feel very nicely. You will create that ecosystem inside. If you have many layers, once I had in -27 degrees Celsius, I had some sort of jacket like this on top of me, and actually it was harder to get my sleeping system warm. It took longer time, and also it was restricting my blood flow. So actually it seems more extreme to get inside your sleeping bag just in a thin base layer in the winter when you just use full jacket like this. I know, it only seems like that. Actually, most of the time you will feel better in a thin base layer. But that only works if you have a proper sleeping system, like sleeping bag or quilt. If the temperature is lower than your sleeping bag can handle, then probably better is to use also some jacket. Okay. So again, drink hot drinks all day long. Maybe some cocoa, tea, coffee, some bouillon, everything works. Actually, cocoa is very nice because it has a fat inside and it will keep you warmer. Also, you need to think about your outer jacket. This is snowboarding jacket, 10K water resistance and breathability. It's something like Gore-Tex, very similar. Over here I can regulate my heat by closing and opening these openings. It's breathable, it has very nice neck protection, hoodie, windproof. So basically you need to get yourself a nice jacket. In my case, I love to do snowboarding and I already had this jacket for snowboarding. And I'm actually using this kind of jackets always in winter. You need your jacket to be breathable and waterproof. But waterproofness for me is not so much important. I know that these jackets, they are no more waterproof after 1 or 2 years of using. You need to reapply some coat or something. I'm mostly about windproofness and breathability. Okay, as you can see, I have my thin base layer and another one here. So this one is for hiking and this one is for sleeping. In this case, temperature is around 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. I don't need extra layer. But of course, if you are sitting like I'm now and just talking, that's why I was using this poncho. Next, trousers. In this case, I have cotton trousers. They are not nice for camping in general. If they get wet, they're wet. Like Dolph Lundgren once said, if he dies, he dies. Okay, so better use some soft shell or some other hiking trousers. But for snow, I really like to combine my trousers with this outer shell. This is very thin, very small package, very light, waterproof. I can cover my boots so that snow is not getting inside. They are breathable, so get something like this. Also layering system. In my case, I was using trousers like this with this together in minus 27 degrees Celsius and it was totally fine. Also consider to use some synthetic underwear, like a boxers or something, because cotton retains moisture and it can lead you to some problems. I nearly forgot about gloves. Come on. So, in winter you definitely need to bring some extra gloves. Have different type of gloves. Maybe something like this, like liners. This type is very nice because you can work with your fingers and very fast convert them to mittens. Super nice. I was also using these in minus 27 degrees Celsius, no problem. Only one problem for these gloves, if I will touch some snow or something, they get wet very fast. So maybe the best idea, of course, is to use some waterproof gloves. Maybe gloves from skiing or snowboarding. Something like this. These are very nice mittens. So you need to remember that always the warmest gloves will be mittens. So in my case I have 2 pairs of them. This is my main and this is for any case if I need to change them to these. And again, layering system. Of course you need your fingers to do some camping stuff, but it's too cold outside. And again, it's a layering system. Use some gloves like this and combine with these ones. Nice one. See? Super nice. It comes to layering for all your clothes, not underwear. Use just one, synthetic one. Of course, you can use 2. If you are really sweaty over there after hiking, you change those 2, okay? Also, you need to consider to covering your wrists. You can lose a lot of heat if wrists are open like this. So in this case, this jacket has this part over here. I can put my thumb through and then use my glove. So now it's protected. Very nice. This is very important, especially in lower temperatures. So if your jacket don't have these ones, you can actually make them from old socks. Just make sure they are not dirty. You just cut hole for your fingers or something and then use that way. Or you can buy already pre-made from some fleece or something. So you need to consider to cover your wrists too. Okay, what's next on the list? And of course, it also goes for your feet. You need to bring extra warm thermal socks. These ones I'm using only for sleeping. Other ones are on my feet. And actually I have also just a simple socks for any case. Because your hiking socks can be wet. These are for sleeping. Maybe you need to hike to another location and again sleep. Then you would need another socks so that you don't use these which are you sleeping in. These are only for sleeping and they need to be dry at any cost. And like I said about boots, so you need to get yourself nice boots. And also about cold feet, it is very smart to use foam like this to stand on. Yeah. When you are talking with your friends in a camp spot. Because if you are standing, even the very nice boots with the reflective insoles inside, if you are standing long enough, you will start to feel cold. And you don't need to let yourself to get cold. And if it happens, like I said before, you need to do something about it. Move your toes. Maybe do some massage with your fingers. So a really nice solution for cold feet and your hands is to get yourself a hand warmers. These are hand warmers. And these are for feet. So you can throw them inside your boots, in your gloves, maybe in your sleeping bag. So this thing is a must to have. I'm not saying I'm using this always, I only used once, but I have these ones in any case. With these ones, you will be more confident about yourself, definitely. Nice coffee with the oat milk. So the next is very important thing we need to talk about. And that is, you never let yourself to go sleep when you are cold. Never. Remember, never. Do something about it. Do jumping jacks, mild running, shadow boxing. Throw some hand warmers inside. Do something. Because sleeping system is not making you warm, it keeps you warm. If you are getting inside your sleeping bag with the cold feet, the feet will be cold for a very long time, maybe even all night. And also about those jumping jacks, be careful, you need to just warm up yourself. If you are getting sweaty, that's not good. So if you have a right gear and you are not cold and you are going to sleep, everything should be fine. And again, I want to talk about confidence. You need to be confident about what are you doing. If something happens, stay clear-minded, analyze situation and do step by step what you should do, okay? If you are starting to panic, it will be just worse. I had one time when my fingers were biting so hard, I nearly called for help. But I was doing these exercises with rotating hands very strongly and moving around fingers, doing something, and it was everything fine. So just be confident about what are you doing. That's why you need to test your gear in your backyard or at friend's house, garden or something. So with confidence, you will better deal with different situations that can come up in your camping spot. But don't be too serious. You need to leave space for positivity and jokes, okay? So the next, let's talk again about your backpack. So if your backpack is too small, you can hang something from the outside, of course. And also for winter camping, you can get a sled. That's a very nice way for transporting your gear in the winter. You can buy one or make yourself one, whatever. That's also a thing you need to consider if you need one. So like I said, you need warm clothes to sleep in. You need some thick beanie or face mask, thin base layer. I'm also suggesting to use some extra jacket. So this is thin fleece jacket, like an extra layer for sleeping. And also thick and warm thermal socks. Okay? You can use a blanket, quilt or sleeping bag to cover yourself like this. It's very nice. Also, one method for keeping your feet dry is to use some trash bags. Just some grocery bags you just put on your feet, then you hike, and then after long miles of wet snow or something, your feet will be dry and warm. At minus 15 degrees Celsius, starting a new level of camping gear-wise. The gear will be much bigger, bulkier. Also, you need to consider stoves. So I'm suggesting for winter use stoves like this with a copper tube, because in winter your gas in a canister will turn into the liquid form. So the liquid gas will travel to this tube. When you burn it, it will heat it up and the gas will turn back to the gas form and it will be working perfectly fine. I'm not sure how low I can go with this one, but I was using this in minus 27 degrees Celsius, totally fine. Because I have another stove, you know, that screwing on your canister on the top. Actually that thing already giving problems around 5 degrees Celsius. So that stove I'm using only for summer, and later in autumn I'm starting to use this one. So the stove design like this is go-to in my opinion. Of course there is another stoves, different gas canisters and something, but I always had the problems with the stove that you screwed on, and doesn't matter which gas I was using. So you need to consider everything. Remember, in winter it's better to have something extra than you lack it. And consider the temperature could feel much lower as it is. Maybe because some breeze is coming on your camp spot or some moisture in the air. There are many possibilities. So check the weather forecast and prepare yourself to improvise. Anything can happen, okay? Also keep your water from freezing. Bring it inside your sleeping bag. Maybe turn bottle around and bury in the snow or something. There are many ways you can keep your water from freezing. Also, you can use some reflective material with the foam to create some cases around your cups, eating bowl, maybe your water bottle. That also works perfectly fine. Also in winter you keep all your electronics in warm, so I put all my electronics inside my jacket when I'm sleeping, inside my sleeping bag, or filming gear, mobile phone, and don't forget about power bank. And if it's really extreme, take two in any case, okay? And also there's different type of gear. There are synthetics, there are wool, down. All of them has its place in a camping, so mix them. So down gear is the lightest, it takes less space of course, but when it's wet it's useless. Synthetics are heavier, but they better deal with the moisture. So actually wool is the best, but it's very heavy and it's not compressing too much. So in my opinion, combination is the best. You have some gear from down, some from synthetics, maybe something from wool. Just be creative. And also in winters it's very long nights. Get yourself some headlamps, some torches or something. Okay, the next thing is very important, is pooping in the winter. My short answer is, you just go. Believe me, it doesn't matter what temperature. Of course, in minus 50 degrees, if you will be sticking your butt too long outside, it's not good, okay? But normally your body is working, just do it, okay? Just go somewhere, do it, hide it, don't leave the paper, burn it, or maybe later you take everything in a plastic bag back home, okay? The best way is to leave nothing outside, okay? Of course you can dig a cat hole for pooping, but in the winter it's not possible, the ground is very hard. So actually the best way for pooping in nature, of course, is to poop in a plastic bag and then take it back home. But if it's not possible, just go somewhere, the place where nobody will step on it, okay? You hide it and choose a nice place, okay? So that's it for this video. This is all I wanted to share with you about introduction into winter camping. So the next parts will be about hammocks and the ground sleeping. Okay, I hope you learned something from this video. Maybe it was entertaining. As usual, stay safe, leave no trace, be good to other people, and get out to the nature. So see you on the next one. Peace!